Hello everybody, this is Indian Rash and I got a new message from GoldenHeartGames. Basically he's interested that what I was focusing on during the marketing campaign of Computer Tycoon. Was it maybe Twitter or YouTube or IndieDB? That's the question. I will talk about a lot of things. And meanwhile, I will tell to you right now that I didn't focus on those things especially because those are channels to market your game, and marketing is more about advertisement. I was focusing on the story, on the hooks, and on the whys, not on the what, basically. But this saying like that, it sounds to be bullshit, okay? And I will explain this. I will talk about all of the channels that I use, all of the best practices I used and learned during that process and before, because I had marketing experience from the music career as well. And I will give you really practical and real life stuff that you never ever heard on YouTube. Okay? I'm serious. I will tell you things that you never heard about on YouTube. You can see as many of GDC videos as you like to, and you won't find any. At least right now. Maybe after my video, others will copy this information. This happens. But anyway, if you join to me, you will get a lot of stuff. It will be again a long video, but I don't care about cutting my videos down, cutting out the poses and the things while I'm thinking about English words, because partially I'm creating this video because I'm learning English and practicing English here. I don't care about this because I'm not specifically here to building my channel as fast as I can. It would be nice, but I'm not here because of this. I don't have the time right now. I have to work on my game Computer Tycoon. You can find the link below as well. I'm here to help you right now. So please join to me, and here it comes, the intro. Okay, so after this short introduction, going back to the original question again. What were the main areas, methods you focused on with your marketing? Was it Twitter, YouTube, or IndieDB? Those channels are really nice. Twitter is a nice channel. YouTube is also a really nice channel, a lovely source of traffic. And IndieDB is also a nice niche site that I would recommend. But the tricks, the details are the most important in those, and still you must put those channels into a much bigger picture of marketing. As I mentioned, marketing is not only about advertisement. It's not only about your product. It's about the why, about the message, just as Tesla and Steve Jobs did it. Marketing is a huge subject. So for right now, I think I will start with these channels mentioned here. I will tell to you how to use them and telling the whole story of using them, how to use them, what are the best practices. I will put these channels into the bigger thing, so you will understand the real thing. And next to this, I will tell you all of the other channels and all of the other tricks that I used during the marketing campaign of Computer Tycoon. That is, by the way, not finished yet, because Computer Tycoon is in early access. And still I will have a big release date. And this video here is right now another way to promote my game as well. So let's jump in, okay? Here is Twitter. Again, the first thing that I like to mention to GoldenHeartGames is the very same thing that I mentioned in the video about early access. I will try to put it here. To another guy, and I can't remember his name. Yeah, here we are. I mentioned him that he should use his real name and his real profile picture on Twitter. Why? Because people can more easily remember faces, especially attached with real names. Okay, so if you check out my Twitter ID is Progorion, and I'm using my own name as a person, and I'm using my face as a profile picture. You will remember that look there on Twitter, something like that. Well, you see, I have this bald head and this mustache of mine, and I always wear black because I'm a metalhead. As you can see here, my instruments, I have 3 guitars. Anyway, this is something memorable. You will remember my face. Maybe you won't remember my family name, that is pronounced as Illés, but it looks strange, right? At least for English speakers, it starts with an I and it's followed by 2 L characters. It looks strange because it looks like 3 I letters. But actually it's Illés, and you will remember that it's written some strange ways. And there is my name, András. This is kind of memorable because it's a famous name in Europe and in Hungary as well. It has alternatives. In England, it's Andrew. In Spanish, it's Andreas, I think. In Germany, it's shit, I can't recall it. Anyway, it's something memorable. You will remember my strange family name. You will remember my usual second name, and you will remember my face. And with this little story of mine, you will surely remember my name, and I recommend you using that. And here is the proof that I can't remember the name of that guy that I've created this early access video for. I can't remember it. I just remember the S. I can't remember its company nickname or not. I don't know how I should call. So please, GoldenHeartGames, try to use your face and try to use your real name. And what I like to tell about Twitter is that it's about one-to-one communication. It's not one-to-many. Facebook is the one-to-many communication. It's not one-to-one. If you tweet out things with the hashtags indie game and indie dev and stuff like that, tell me, what was the biggest retweet number that you were able to reach? 5? 10? Maybe 15? Then you are really cool. You are really cool then. No, it's not working like that. Twitter is about one-to-one communication, so if you write to me, I will answer to you. If I write to you specifically, you will answer to me. If I participate in retweeting others' stuff, that's also a really good thing, but you should always put there a message as well. Pushing the retweet button is not always enough. If you wanna be sure, you should put there your opinion, your feedback, your own story about that thing. You must add value, add story, add momentum, add anything. And on the other side, the guy will think he's important to you. So you will become important to him as well. Social media is about socializing, right? Another interesting thing about Twitter that a lot of people don't think about is that Twitter is really good to contact other influencers, because most of the times even bigger influencers, or it depends on what we call as big, or let's say an influencer with 50,000 or between 50 and 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, or a similar number on Twitch. They don't really have a big following on Twitter. Why? Because it's not a one-to-many communication channel. It's mostly one-to-one communication channel. So, because they can't talk to their audience as easily as on YouTube or as easily as on Facebook, it's most likely that they won't have so many retweets. Only the superstar guys uh, are having a lot of retweets all the time and a lot of comments and stuff like that. As an example, here's the guy that I really like. He makes really nice content. His name is Tim Rasvik, and he has a channel here called the Indie Dev Underground. And he has right now, soon he will have 20,000 subscribers, in my opinion. He made it mostly in 1 year, and when he shares something on Twitter, he got 0 retweets most of the time, while he gets tons of comments on YouTube. Why? Because Twitter is about one-to-one communication. There, I can contact him easily. If I retweet his stuff, if I comment under his stuff, he will see it. If I comment on YouTube, I'm not sure if he will find my comment anymore. In the first days on his channel, it was true. He surely saw everything, but right now he doesn't. If I continue to upload these videos, maybe I will have a similar following. I'm not sure. Maybe it can happen with me. Still, you will be able to contact me using Twitter, but the comments are not really good to do that. So, socialize on Twitter, share others' things, and put there your own opinion, not only pushing buttons, okay? Another bad thing that I see on Twitter, that Twitter mass following is stupid. I tried it. That's why I know that it's stupid. First, I tried to follow all of the influencers from YouTube that I was interested in to cover my game, or I was interested in their content, and I tried to socialize. But I wanted more and faster, right? So I tried to mass following and mass unfollowing a lot of people who could be called as my customers, right? And it didn't work because people just don't care about you, okay? If you don't give them a personal message on Twitter, most of the time they really don't care about you. If you don't have a really nice looking GIF animation or something, a really compelling picture or something really fucked up that happened to you, it won't be retweeted, it won't be shared. But you can use Twitter as this personal channel of yours, just as GoldenHeart did, and we talked, and I'm creating a video for you, mate. So that was Twitter basically. Now the next thing is YouTube. YouTube is again a really nice channel. Yet alone, if you are creating videos like me right now, you won't have a lot of views. It takes time, and I recommend you doing something on YouTube because it's really beneficial to have your own following, especially if you can give some value for those people, and then it can work out on the long term, on the long run. But I guess you are mentioning YouTube because there are influencers on YouTube, players on YouTube, and you like to send them your game if they will play it maybe, and you will get views and you will get sales maybe later on. Yeah, this is a really nice thought, I must admit, but yet alone it's not enough. And here it starts the bigger thing. So marketing is not about yelling loudly and pushing out your own stuff. A game, this Grand Life was released some days ago, or tomorrow, or yesterday, I don't know. And the developer of this brilliant game said that he's not really used to pushing his own content out again and again. And most of the time, it looks like that on Twitter and via email. It's just really spammy, okay? A lot of people just putting out their own stuff again and again, even the very same picture and the very same stuff. It's just really boring, and if people see too much, from your stuff, they will just mute you. Okay, I will tell you the truth. I also mute some people on Twitter. That's life. If I see you too much and you waste my time, I'm not interested in that. So I will mute you. That's it. The magic number, I will tell you a lot of magic numbers in this video, okay? The first magic number that I want to mention is 7. If a guy sees your game 7 times, then probably he will be interested at the end, okay? And this is how I will start this whole marketing stuff. Marketing won't start on your release date. Some people knows that, but yet they don't practice it. You must start marketing from the very first day, and it's about putting out your own stuff that they will see it at least 7 times. But how? You must find a way that it's not repetitive for them. The best thing, if you can give some kind of value. If you are creating a really nice game, that game could be the value. But you should write postmortems, creating best practice videos or best practice blog posts. You must be interesting, okay? This is why you are here right now. You are interested in my opinion, and I talk about Computer Tycoon as my example constantly. That is, again, promotion to me. But still, that's not enough, because marketing is not only about pushing out your stuff. It's only a % of the whole picture. Let's say from 10 posts on Twitter, only, 3 should be about your own stuff, directly about your stuff. So while you have to create those milestones, and you must promote those milestones during the development process, you have to put it into something else, and you must be interesting, okay? And what I wanted to say, that marketing, so how you can put it into something else. And this is what I mentioned in the introduction, that I was concentrating on the story, on the hooks, and on the whys, not on the whats. So I'm concentrating on the story. What is the story of my game? First of all, I have a story about myself. How I built my first computer at the age of 10. How nice it was, how I killed my first motherboard, how I had a really poor family, so I had a really outdated computer, but I built it myself, and it was really a joy. This is a story I can detail. I wrote a Reddit post, I wrote blog posts about it. I can share you the story how I became a developer, right? I can share the story was the connection between me and Steve Jobs. I can share the story how I marketed my game. So I must give a story. Again, hooks. Hooks are a bit similar to stories, okay? And if you don't have hooks in your game, that's a problem. But you can still create some kind of stories around your game. For example, I created a story that is some kind of guerrilla marketing, that I created a torrent version of Computer Tycoon and I put it up on the release day to Pirate Bay. And in this version, I made a message to my pirates that was styled as a Commodore 64 computer message. This blue screen with a smaller blue screen inside, telling that 64 kilobytes of RAM is free and the system is ready. And under that, I wrote not ready but error. And I wrote that I'm an indie game developer and I need your support. If you like the game, please buy it, because I'm just a poor guy. So I will let you play the game freely, but please support me. That's the error. That's the problem here, that you pirated my game. Please support me. And this is a story that I try to market, that I try to promote. and some sites shared it. It wasn't a big success, unfortunately. Maybe it could be a bigger success if I had more time to talk about it. Uh, I created a Reddit post about this story and the feedback that I got, and it was kind of viral. I think more than a thousand or 2,000 or something like that people viewed it, or even more. I can't remember, but it was kind of viral. So you have to create stories, okay? That's the story part. I concentrated on the story. Then I concentrated on the hooks. Okay, this is something that, again, marketing is not only about advertising your product when it's done. When you create a game, you must think about the hooks in this game. What's your game about? What's really new in your game? What is that nobody else did before you? And you must build on it. Computer Tycoon is had these hooks. That This is the first game about the computer evolution. I was surprised myself that there is no other game like that. Another hook is that this is the first grand strategy game and management or tycoon game hybrid out there. Again, another hook. There is another hook that I tried, that I released the game on the anniversary of Steve Jobs, who was a big inspiration to me personally and to the game as well. If you think about that, Computer Tycoon. Who was the biggest computer tycoon if not Steve Jobs? You can hate him, you can love him, you can say that the things that he did are not important, or those are just garbage with an Apple logo. I don't care about your opinion about Steve Jobs. You must admit one thing, that he was a really important person in computer technology and in the business world as a whole. And because he was a great inspiration to me, I could offer in his memory this game. This was the third big hook. And I could say a lot of other hooks as well. You can put bigger names. Let's say the musician who created the music was a musician of Halo, or I don't care. You can create hooks. This could be another topic, but you should concentrate on your story and on your hooks. And what I said, that I was concentrating on the why and not on the what. So I wasn't saying that Computer Tycoon is the best game or Computer Tycoon is this or that. I said that I created Computer Tycoon because. And if you can create a nice message around that, it's much better than just pushing out that, oh, here is my game, play it please, it's awesome, it's unique, it's the best. Who cares? Who cares really? It's just counterproductive. Yeah. Check out Tesla. This is why I mentioned. You are not buying a car from Tesla because you are so green or because you care so much about the climate change, that you should, by the way, but because if you buy a Tesla, everybody knows that this car is a Tesla, and everybody knows that you think different, that you are better. Okay? You want to be better, so you buy a Tesla car if you can afford, of course, in a practical way. And now I just used the marketing campaign slogan of Apple from a decade ago. Think different. That was the slogan of Apple. And with this, they didn't say that their product is better. They said that if you use their product, then you think better, you are better, right? So, story, hooks, whys. This is the three most important thing when you market your game. Marketing includes playing around with the price. Marketing includes your face. Marketing includes your homepage. Marketing includes a lot of other things. Okay? But if we are particularly talking about game development, I think this is the three most important things. Okay, going forward. So, Twitter and YouTube in this whole story, in this whole campaign of yours, uh, talking about the milestones and the stories and the hooks, which are good to give value to your influencers, because influencers are interested in traffic, they are interested in interesting stuff. And if you create good hooks, they will know that their audience will like those hooks, and they will uh, use those your hooks. They are not interested in your games, they are interested in your hooks most often, and they're interested in the traffic that you can generate to them. Press works like that, YouTubers work like. So again, what I was talking about, I'm practicing English, right? Anyway, so in this whole story and this process, because that's a process that you must start from the first day, and release day is not the finish day. You must start and finish before and after your release day, well after and well before. And in this whole story, Twitter and YouTube are only channels. Okay, Twitter is the one-to-one channel that you can use to find some influencers more easily as otherwise, maybe sometimes in some cases. And with YouTube, you have just another one channel. In a practical way, what you must do, that you must create a mailing list. Okay, you can create a promotion, a giveaway to your release date. So you can say like, if you opt into my mailing list, then I will make a 100 key giveaway, so you can win. So please subscribe, and you can use that mailing list to your customers. But you must put all of the influencers into this mailing list or another mailing list. Let's say you can create a YouTuber mailing list, a press mailing list, a Twitcher mailing list, a game dev mailing list, stuff like that. And you must collect their email addresses. I can recommend you MailChimp. Google it. MailChimp is really nice and free. Under a given contact number, but probably it will free for you. And with this mailing list, you can send out thousands of emails with one click. Also, if you put there their names, then it will automatically put from your list their names into the others. So what you should do is creating a mailing list first of all. Subscribe, register to MailChimp. Then try to create an Excel file with all of the YouTubers that you would like to contact. All of the Twitchers, all of the sites. Rock, Paper, Shotgun, Polygon, and there are a lot out there. Collect the most important guys at those sites. Check out who covered a similar game to yours at this magazine. On YouTube, you can find people by looking for coverage of similar games to yours. Let's say you're creating a management game or a strategy game, so you want to check out all of the Civilization videos on YouTube and who made those. You can create a program. I created one for myself, and basically I gave them the keywords that I wanted to look on YouTube, and it parsed out the influencers. Because let's say YouTuber Joe creates 200 videos about Civilization, but I'm interested only in the name of YouTube Joe. Okay, so I wrote a program that was able to use YouTube and collected to me the influencer names. This way I collected more than 1,000, I think 1,500 YouTubers as far as I know. And then I collected their email addresses manually because it's protected by a captcha, so probably you should use it manually. Most of the time YouTubers have their email addresses on YouTube, so start soon, because that's tedious work, man. You can hire a guy on Fiverr.com. I did it. A little guy from high school created me, I don't know, a list with 400 or 500 Twitchers for, I don't know, $100 or something like that. It's absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth the bucks. So this is how you collect those guys. You put them onto your mailing list, and whenever you have a milestone, you send out a letter. And you just don't say that my game is awesome, my game is unique. No, bullshit. You put it into a story. Hey man, I've created this game because my mother was killed by terrorists, so I wanted to create a game that is against terrorists. And this is the My Mom Will Kill You from the Afterworld game. And this is the story. This is the hook, and this is what you send out when your first demo is out, let's say. Okay? Or there are a lot of ideas to create milestones and create messages. Just be interesting. That's the most important. And as those letters go out, the chance that they will actually open that letter will increase, and the chance that they will write you back increases as well. What I did, that I said that I'm working on Computer Tycoon and I really would like to give you a key, but please send me back an email if you are interested and you would like to get a key, because keys are restricted on Steam. In fact, that's true, and it's even more stricter right now as far as I know. So I can't send out just as many as I like to. I must know if you are interested. And this is a good feedback to me that, oh, this guy is interested in my game. That's awesome. And, I just got back and I collected their answers. I collected their status. I've wrote into this file if they are interested in the early access release or in the full release only. And as far as I know, I counted 8 or 10 or 20 million subscribers this way. Let's say you get back 100 letters that they are interested. This means 100 YouTubers. From this amount, maybe I just say something, 20 will create a video actually. So you must do the legwork. You must contact as many as you can. I think that's all for now. I could talk more about YouTube, but let's jump to IndieDB. This is something, again, that you will find never and ever on other channels. This is an information that you will get only from me right now and right here. So please just enjoy my bad English and these poses that I make and I don't cut the video. I'm sorry that I don't cut the video, but I have to work on Computer Tycoon. I don't have the time. I just want to help you, okay? So, IndieDB is a really nice site. How do you use it? Let me ask you, how do you use IndieDB right now? Occasionally you write articles, right? Yeah? Right? That's the case, right? What happens then? IndieDB approves your article and it appears in the list of articles. Let's say it's there for a full day or 2 days. And you get, let's say, 50 or 100, maybe 150 views, right? And you're happy. This is not how you should use IndieDB at the first place. And this is what I do. I contacted IndieDB because I was interested for how much money they will create me advertisement. I won't share you the exact number because I just can't. Feel free to write them an email. It was too much. Let's say it was too much to me. So I was thinking, what can I do here? On IndieDB, there is a top 10 list on the right sidebar of the homepage. There you can see that on that particular day, what were the most popular games. What do you think? How they measure this? They measure this by traffic. Okay. I guarantee you, if you create 500 views on your article, it will be in the top 10. Sometimes Computer Tycoon reaches top 1. And when it happens, sometimes IndieDB creates a feature to me. In fact, IndieDB now watch my game really closely. The team behind IndieDB watch my game because I was able to generate a lot of views on this site, and they, because of that, featured me again and again on Twitter and on their site, where on the top in the main capsule for free. I should have pay a lot of money for this, for the very same result, but I reached it that way. Your goal on IndieDB is not writing an article, but writing an article and getting as many views as you can. So maybe you will get into the top 10, and maybe you will get into the top of the page. And that's when IndieDB starts to generate you views alone. That's when people will be interested. That's when influencers will ask you about your game, and not will be you the person who asks them to cover your game. Okay? And you must do it again and again. Let's connect it with your milestones, right? When you create something important or really nice, then you create an IndieDB article. You cross-share it on Reddit, on Twitter, on Facebook, on your own blog, on forums, and everywhere. This is the important part. So you are using your mailing list. You are increasing the number of the people of your mailing list because you put out the links everywhere to subscribe to your mailing list, of course, on your landing page, on your article on IndieDB. And when you get the feature in IndieDB, you will get a lot more. And let's say you are creating advertisements somewhere, or you don't know what you should write about your game because you are not impressive yet. Okay. I can tell you, when I was able to promote Computer Tycoon, and it's the #1 game on IndieDB for influencers, they were interested. Okay. And this is the practical secret about IndieDB. IndieDB will give you credibility, but not alone IndieDB will give you the traffic that you need. You must generate the traffic for IndieDB in the first place, and when you give them the traffic, they will give you more. Okay, that's how it works, and it's free, so use it. And here is now Reddit. I mentioned Reddit is just awesome to generate traffic. This is far the easiest and best way to generate traffic, in my opinion. For your own site, for Steam, for anywhere, including IndieDB. And Reddit has a lot of subreddits. All of those subreddits have their own moderation team. Reddit has a general rule that from 10 posts, you can only post one that is about self-promotion. So you must be active, or you must ask others to write about you on Reddit. But be active. And there are subreddits where there are no such rules. Okay, I know some, and they are really useful. If you are creating a management game, I highly recommend you putting your game into the Reddit per Tycoon subreddit. It has a really nice moderation team. stuff. And if you are not spammy, you can write weekly in that subreddit, and they won't delete your post. In the PC gaming or general gaming subreddits, you can't really do that, unfortunately. So with Reddit, you can generate traffic to IndieDB. On IndieDB, you can get a feature. This will be a really nice hook again, another hook, that your game is the third, is the second, is the first on IndieDB. Of course, it won't be the first forever. It will be the first, let's say, for 5 hours. If you regularly write those articles, if you put out a lot of stuff linked to your IndieDB page on Reddit, on ADC, then you will have a momentum that you can use even on your release date, and you can use in your letters sent out to the influencers. When you send out letters, think about the time shift and the timing. Okay, the best practice about sending out emails is that sending out early in the morning, really early. Think about that. When those guys go working, especially those guys who are full-time influencers or writers for press, they will open up the emails in the morning, and you must be there, because after the morning there will come the other emails, and you will get down into their list. And you hate lists because you won't be at the top of those lists. Okay, so best practice being on the top of that list is sending out during the night or in the morning those letters. If you send it out after let's say 2 p.m., you're late. You're fucking late. I'm sorry. Okay, smaller YouTubers can find you, and if you send out multiple emails, the chance increases. But still, the best practice is sending out it during the night or in the morning. So that's about IndieDB. I talked about Reddit. Now I could mention Twitch. Twitch is bad because there it's more hard to find email addresses. Please, Twitchers, please, if you are watching me, put out your email address there. But still very useful to have those guys. And now I think I talked about the channels. I told about the hooks. I told about the story. I told about the whys and what and bullshit like that. I told you some best practices. I told you about marketing lists. I told you about starting with marketing. Maybe I could emphasize this a little bit more. Start marketing right now. I don't care how much developed your game is. Talk about it right now. GoldenHeartGames seem to do this. That's nice. Just use the best practices that I mentioned too. But a lot of developers just don't advertise, don't market their game before the release date. Man, the magic number 7. Okay, you must reach 7. There is another magic number for you here. If you get 100 views on a video on YouTube in the first 2 weeks of your release, it means that it will convert on an average around 1 sales. So, if you have in the first 2 weeks 100,000 views, it means that in the 2 weeks you will get 1,000 copies sold. Is my math correct? Yeah. Would you like to sell more than 1,000? Get more than 100,000. That's my recommendation. It works really nice. I've checked a lot of games using Steam Spy, using postmortems. Sometimes I even followed right from the release date what happens with the game. And this is a really educated estimation so far. Uh, Maybe I can give you another magic number. Uh, yeah, if I don't know, I don't want to tell anything that I already mentioned. So let's move on because I have to talk about a lot of stuff. Here is another secret of mine. I often see people complaining about Keymailer. You know, Keymailer is a service where you can register your game. Also, influencers, streamers, YouTubers, stuff like that can register, and you can find each other, and you can send out a key for your guys to play your game in hope of getting coverage. And a lot of complaints that there are scammers on those sites. This is true. There are maybe 4 or 5 services like that. The biggest one is Keymailer. This is also the oldest one and the one, and I would highly recommend you. There is another one called Do Distribute, created by Rami Ismail. It's absolutely free, but there are a lot of scammers there. There is Like-Minded and WooWit, the other two, and those are really small, unfortunately, and the influencers are small there, and you can't expect a lot of key requests. But you know, if you don't have the budget, it's free to register. So maybe you will get 3 other YouTubers. It's fine. So why is it stupid what they say? They complain that there are scammers there. Yes, there are scammers. You must check every fucking channel if you wanna be sure that they don't steal your key and put it to G2A to sell it for themselves. This is disgusting, but it's a thing. And they are smarter and smarter. I could create another video about that. The thing is, you are not there to make it easier you to send out keys. This is bullshit, man. This is the stupid way of using Keymailer. Keymailer is there because there you can get more influencers in the first place. And it's always easier to sell your game to influencers so they can sell your game to their audiences that are already trusting them and following them, and they're already interested in them, while most of your customers are not interested in you right now. But on Keymailer, you can buy advertisement. If you wanna pay money for anything, I recommend you paying for your trailer, paying for your game assets, for your music, for your art, or anything you need for the game. It's obvious. Maybe I shouldn't even mention it. So you should pay for your trailer. Trailer is extremely important. I could create another video about that. I talked about early access here. In this one, I talk about a lot of useful stuff as well. Check it out. So you should pay for your trailer, but secondly, you should. I highly recommend you paying for a Keymailer advertisement, because how it works. Again, I registered to Keymailer as an influencer and I checked it myself. There is a list. Again, just like on IndieDB. Above the list, there are smaller pictures recommending you games to play on your YouTube or Twitch channel. Cool. And at the top of the page, there is a big carousel, a big capsule, just like on IndieDB. And if you pay around $300 for 5 days, your game will be there. Before not buying an advertisement, I was able to get around, 60 or 80 key requests. After I purchased this carousel, and it was there for 5 days, I've got around, I can't remember the exact number, between 2 and 3 or 4 thousands of key requests. Yeah, of course, a lot of those requests are from small guys, you know, and they can't generate you a lot of traffic. They are still useful because the worst thing that you want to avoid is that you don't have any reviews on Steam. At least those guys will write some reviews for you. So buy an advertisement and you will get a lot of coverage from Keymailer. If you did what I mentioned with the mailing list and you invested in Keymailer a bit, if you were able to generate traffic on IndieDB, if you have good hooks on your game, if it's a good game, if you have a story, if you did everything what I said, in that case, you did much more than those wannabe publishers out there. Those are thieves. I'm sorry to say it, but most of those publishers working for royalty shares are thieves. Avoid them. Because what they do, they release, I don't know, 20 games in a month. Or even if this number is 10. What do you think? What will they do? Those smaller companies are not even full-time. How will they send out your emails when they don't have the time to handle? I tried 2 companies so far, small PR companies who are not working for royalties. One of them, I will say their name, they are the indie promoter, as they call themselves. And they fucked up my campaign because I wanted to send out my letters for the anniversary of Steve Jobs, right? And they sent out the letter well in the evening, way too late. Those letters should have been there in the morning. The press, the whole fucking world were talking about Steve Jobs, and nobody knew about my game. Why? Because the letters were there a day ago, a day after it should have been there. They should have been there. And this is just bullshit. And why? Because they didn't have the time to send out the letters. They made me more harm than good, I must say. Their intentions are clear and nice. They are nice people. But this quality of work just fucked me up and fucked up my whole project. I'm sorry about that. If they are watching this, probably not. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm really disappointed. I'm just really disappointed. If you are market specialists and you send out letters this late, what do you think? That was bullshit. The other team was Indie Boost, and they are nice. They made a really good job to my stuff. I should have used them in the first place. So right now I would recommend them. But if you don't have the money to promote your game, you don't necessarily need these guys. Okay, you can do all of the stuff that I mentioned, and it will work. Okay. I talked about guerrilla marketing, I talked about channels, I talked about YouTube, I talked about Twitch, I talked about Twitter, I talked about a lot of things. And still I could talk. I just can't remember about what. Yeah, maybe I should create a video about all of these things. But unfortunately I had to re-record this whole fucking video because my sound card has some serious problems and it just didn't record the sound in the last try, during the last try. So I wasted 1 hour, unfortunately. But anyway, let's think about what else could I mention. I thought about Keymailer, I thought about advertisement. Maybe I could talk about trailers. But if you check out my other videos, maybe the some 4 or 5 most important things to market your game. At those times, I tried this format, but I just don't care about this right now because I must work on my game. I don't have the time, and I'm more interested in helping you than uh, building this channel. So I recommend you watching this because there I will talk about trailers. I was focusing on the story, and the trailer is the most important tool to communicate your story of your game or the hooks of your game. Yeah, I thought about hiring somebody. I thought about automation, write a program that can, any program that can help you is a good deal for you because you're an indie and time is money. Mm, for now, I think that's it. I think that's it. I'm sure that I forget a lot of things. This is a sure thing. But I just can't remember and I don't want to waste your time and my time. So maybe I will create another video. If you follow me, I will always mention things like that. You can listen to these videos whenever you'd like to and during the work. And you will hear the stuff that I didn't mention right now. Okay? Please follow me, push that subscribe button and the thumbs up button because it matters. Write a comment, write your questions, please, so I can practice English. And that's it. If you like strategy or management games, be sure to check out Computer Tycoon as well. And share it, please. It would be really nice of you. If you appreciated my advice here, then in return, please help me spread Computer Tycoon or my other games if you watch this game later on when I'm working on something else. Indies should support each other and you should participate in sharing things. If you share my game, probably I will share yours one day, right? So that's it. Have a nice day. I hope you survived this long bullshit again. It was nice to meet with you. Well, I'm tired. Bye bye.